Productions.
Welcome, 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 welcome. There's something in my eye. Golly. All right. Welcome back to another day in the Elajas era.
Welcome.
Okay. I'm your host with the most boast, Taylor Elajas. You doing good? I'm doing pretty good, but are you doing good though? I'm doing pretty good today. We are here at Hip Hop Rookie of the Year. Okay, and for some reason there's something stuck in my eye socket, but it's okay. We're gonna work through it. What's going on, guys? You know, it's been a little minute, right? It's been a little minute since we've done the Hip Hop Rookie of the Year. You know, I've had some obligations I've had to take care of. Okay, but we're back, right? We're here, and at the end of the day, we're gonna discuss the rookies because just because I was off for a couple weeks doesn't mean that they were doing a bunch of nothing because they were out here working. And we're gonna discuss it. Okay, we're gonna discuss how they were out here working, what's been going on, and check the temperature in the streets for the rookies in the hip hop industry right now. But before we get into the latter and the honorable mentions, let's just run down the criteria as everyone should know what it is at this point. All right, we have well-produced and engineered music, signed or unsigned, interviews, tours, social media presence, cosigns, engagement, and that is in terms of social media and really in person as well. Bodies of work, analytical results, YouTube views, magnitude of notable songs, and platforms featured on. Okay, so that is the criteria to be on the ladder for the Hip Hop Rookie of the Year. And before we get into the actual ladder, we're going to discuss a couple of honorable mentions. Okay, and the ladder, it's a little different than it was before, and you might see a name or two that you might have seen before, or we're going to get into that a little bit later. But in these honorable mentions, I have a couple questions that since I'm alone today, I'm not going to ask another person, so I just want you to ingest it for yourselves. And I'm asking you guys as well. But is YBN Cordae really a rookie? Okay, but then this question can also attest to a lot of people, and the only reason why I'm really asking the question is due to the whole double XL freshman thing, where it's like they pick up these rappers and these artists that aren't really freshmen in the music industry. So I really don't get how they are really even getting this notch or this accomplishment when it's like, what makes them a rookie? But you can also say that same thing for DaBaby, you know what I'm saying? But DaBaby just got signed, so that's why, I base it off of that. That's why he's a rookie. Because, YBN Cordae, he's already signed with Lank. But the baby, he was putting up millions of views, like millions and millions of views before he got signed, and then that's when he went on a rampage, and it's been taking over the year along with others. But YBN Cordae has already been a part of the YBN group. He's been associated with YBN Namir, who's been out, had a breakout single in 2017. YBN Almighty J has already been in the industry a lot, but YBN Cordae really has started to break out, and now he's kind of he's gotten farther than any of the YBNs that they've been able to. YBN Almighty J, his music really isn't taking off like that. He's been more in the news for other reasons. He just broke up with Dream Doll because he was out here in Megan Thee Stallion's IG Live thirsting. But, YBN Namir, he's been kind of moving away from the rubbing it. I don't know. It's weird because he has that sound that he stays in, but it's like, I don't know. I'm not loving it. You know what I'm saying? I'm really not loving it. Rubbing the Paint was my type of Namir. Bounce Out with That is my type of Namir. Baby 8 is cool. That's one of the recent songs that came out. He has another song with the City Girls. Like, I understand. I don't even have to listen to that song to know what type of song that is. Like, and the City Girls, I really don't listen to their features either because I know what they're about to come with. Like, I don't like super predictability. Like, I know the formula of this song before I even listen to it. So why am I about to listen to it? It's so formulaic. I know what it's made for. It's like, why am I even doing it? You know what I'm saying? Why am I doing it to myself if I've heard this song before several different times? But Cordae is different. He's a different type of rookie that we haven't had this year, and like one that actually story tells and just puts their life on wax in a interesting, most people are going to consider it lyrical miracle, spiritual type of flow package, but I love the album. The Lost Boys is amazing. It's a great album, but is he really a rookie? He wasn't really even on the project like that. They had a YBN project. It was really mainly Jay and Namir, but Cordae has, like, he's been in the public eye for a while. That's the only reason why I question if he's a rookie. But at the end of the day, it's like, if we really do consider him a rookie, he might be number one in just terms of everything. Like, outside of the tours, he's been on the Breakfast Club. He's been on Flex freestyling. He's been everywhere. He's been on Nick Cannon's morning show. The man has been Everyday Struggle. Like, the man has been everywhere. So it's like, if we're about to consider Cordae a rookie, he might damn near have won it already at this point. The man has been co-signed by Dr. Dre. The man said that his first time, and he'll just drop that he's been in the studio with people such as Anderson .Paak and Meek Mill and Sir and all these people. He, in the interview, he just dropped it like it was nothing. He said my first and only time riding in a PJ private jet was with Meek Mill, and Meek Mill said, "Soon is going to be the only way you can travel." And the man is 21, which is crazy, but he name drops these people like it's nothing because they really mess with his style, and he's different than what a lot of the newer rookies are coming with. They're following the wave, and YBN is going with his own wave of more methodical type of rap, and the old head's gonna love it. So you're gonna get some old head cosigns when you actually rap about something that means something to you, rather than get in the booth and start freestyling. And YBN Cordae freestyles, he said in one of the James interviews, but he actually does take his time and he prefers to write so he knows what's actually putting to paper. And that makes a lot of sense, and I relate to that in terms of, like, you just get in the booth and you start freestyling. Like, it's cool, but are you really putting in the thought, whatever the thought may be, even if it's a club record and it's not even something that's like super specific to your life? It's like, why not take the time to just write it so this is what I'm trying to say, rather than like plugging in something off the top of your head every 5 seconds to the engineer, like yo, plug in, say a line, yo, plug in, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so Cordae album sold 28K. It's pretty okay. I thought I was gonna get around 30, but it's still gotten some great reception at the end of the day. It took me a while to even listen to Cordae's music. Like, Location Ships was out for a little while. I didn't listen to that. Have Mercy, I didn't really like that much, but like, I get why it worked. It's a good song. I'm not saying it's not a good song, but the album itself is an amazing project. Like, it's just so good. A couple standouts to me is Wintertime, Thanksgiving. You know, and at the end of the day, too, his features are crazy. Like has Anderson .Paak and Chance the Rapper, and like what? You know what I'm saying? At such a young age, he's a staple now. And it's like we're considering him a rookie. It's like all these features, really, people haven't. No one else on this list has gotten that type of feature yet. Those type of features that he's gotten outside of Lil Nas and DaBaby. You know, so no one else on the list has really gotten those super features like Choppa, but he's gotten like Birdman and some other people. But we also gonna talk about somebody else on the ladder that has something big coming. All right, but YBN Cordae, you know, you might have to consider him a rookie. When I'm thinking about it, I'm saying it out loud. We might have to consider him a rookie because, you know, he can do that. You know what I'm saying? He can do that, and he's different. And in terms of how long he's been out, this is his first project. Like when I think about it, before either late 2018 or early 2019, we really didn't hear much music from YBN Cordae. So, you know, as I'm speaking out loud, I'm not opposed to making him a rookie. And if we're gonna do that, then he 1,000%. I'm gonna spoil it. He 1,000% is gonna be on the ladder next week, just simply because of all the things he's done so far. It's the platforms he's been on, and you know, being on Flex and freestyling and showing out. You know, he did a really good job. Breakfast Club. Lil Nas X doesn't even have a Breakfast Club interview. You know what I'm saying? Co-signs from somebody like Dr. Dre. It's ridiculous. He's been on Genius Verified 4 times. He has a Genius interview, like actual Genius interview. He has one of those Who is YBN Cordae breakdowns as well. Like he's, you know, he might go from honorable mention to on the ladder real quick. Not gonna lie, super quick. And another person that's kind of questionable whether or not they should be on the ladder is Comedazine. And to me, I'm only questioning if Comedazine should be on the ladder because he's been out for a little minute. A lot of people still don't even know who he is at this point. He really hasn't been on a lot of platforms. You know, so even if he is a rookie, he might still only be considered honorable mention right now. Like Walk was on Lyrical Lemonade. He's been on Lyrical Lemonade a couple times. You know, he has some bangers ready. It's been out, like he went viral on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'd be surprised too. A lot of people still don't know Comedazine. Like when I talk about Comedazine, they're like, "Who's that?" And I'm like, "Whoa, what?" But he's never been on Billboard. Like he had a Walk remix with A$AP Rocky, so I thought more people would know about him. But a lot of people really don't know about Comedazine, so which is crazy. So, but if we're gonna consider Comedazine a rookie, he's still gonna stay in honorable mention. But I'm definitely gonna keep it in the back of my mind of what he continues to do. He's been putting up results with no features. Like he's one of those guys that can put up results without having anybody else on his album. And literally, when all that music dropped that Friday, it was Chance. I think Cordae dropped that same day. I think Cordae might have dropped that same day, or whatever that Friday was that Mad Music dropped. Comedazine also dropped, and once I listened to Comedazine's album, I couldn't listen to anything else. It's only like 30 minutes, but I ran it back like 5 times, and I'm still bumping a bunch of songs off that album. You know what I'm saying? Rasputia. I love Rasputia. Like, I love Rasputia. Pockets fat. Rasputia. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that song's fire. Yeah, so if you want to listen to a YBN Cordae song, you should go ahead and listen to Wintertime. If you want to listen to a Comedazine song, go ahead and listen to Rasputia. It's fire. You know, he just dropped the video to Kill Him. So I think that's pretty dope as well. But, you know. So yeah, I'll take that into consideration. YBN Cordae is probably, you know, I'm going to spoil it. He's going to go from honorable mention to on the ladder real quick. But my last honorable mention this week is Mr. Callboy. I'm with the gang. I'm with the mob. What was you thinking? All right, he's been on the ladder on and off a couple times, but you know, he was on DJ Live recently, talking about you know, just gangs and shootings and you know the things that Mr. Vlad enjoys talking about. And they're talking about if he's actually been shot. He said he's been shot at, but he's never like actually been shot. So interesting things, very interesting things. Even though it's like, but that you can't really fully blame DJ Vlad because the people that go up there know about DJ Vlad. They know what he's gonna ask. Maybe they don't know exactly what he's gonna ask, but they know that it's not gonna be like, when is your next project dropping and talking all about the music. He likes to talk about the backstory of your life, so you know that going there. And if you don't at this point, then you're just naive to that fact, But they're talking about how he's been shot at, and if someone were to shoot him and apologize, would you be like, "All right, cool," and just piece it up? Cowboy was not messing with that thought process, and neither was Yellow Beezy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Yellow Beezy never really went through a rookie period either. He kind of just was on. And it's crazy sometimes some people go from being rookies to just being on. Like, I feel like Gunna's 100% not a rookie. I don't know where that came from. He's 1,000% not a rookie. He kind of just went from nothing to on. You know what I'm saying? Like, that album with Pedestrian on it is just fire. And then he was just on. He did that Colors, and people, what's going on? Enemies 9, I don't know if I said that wrong, but Gunna was never a rookie, but he kind of was just on out of nowhere, but that color performance he did brought a lot of attention. But I'm not even going to dare put him in this rookie category. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to dare classify Gunna as a rookie, so. But the honorable mentions that I listed thus far were YBN Corday, Comethazine, and Callboy. All right, but let's get into the latter for this week's Hip Hop Rookie of the Year standings. All right, because our mentions were cool, but we got to get into who's actually sticking on the ladder and who can make it to next week. Boom. Here we have it. All right, we have some name changes, some flips, and some movements happening here today. For those of you that tune in weekly, Blueface, baby, is not on the ladder this week, unfortunately, even though Daddy is on the Billboard, and he recently did a Breakfast Club interview where, Breakfast Club is just, they're just thoughts for the moment. Like, if something's happening in the moment, they want that interview. They want that interview so bad if something's happening in that moment. And that's why, like, a big conversation that I was really trying to bring up sooner rather than later was, why is Lil Nas X not on the Breakfast Club? You have Blueface doing 2 interviews, and one of them just really nonsense about, like, he had nothing to promote. They kind of just threw in the fact that he was dropping a project, but, like, it wasn't really there to promote that. They were there talking about the fact that the man had 2 girlfriends and then he broke up with one. Like, why is this a topic of why was it so necessary that they had to rush to do a Breakfast Club interview for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, Lil Nas X has been killing the 18 straight weeks at #1. There's some reason to it, because at the end of the day, it's like they could have. Maybe he's at a point where he feel like he doesn't need to do it the same way that Juice WRLD. It took him a while to be on the Breakfast Club, while like Lucid Dreams was hot for a while before he even got to the Breakfast Club. But I'm surprised. But the Breakfast Club are thoughts for the moment, bro. Like, they're super thoughts for the moment. Like, it's crazy that they wouldn't get that interview ready, because there's a lot to talk about at this point. You know what I'm saying? The man is representing gay people now. He's representing a whole different audience, and he's been doing some great things. That's why he's still at #1. But we're going to go person by person, and we're going to see why each person is where they are seated on the rankings. Okay, so starting off with Mr. Roddy Rich. All right, Mr. Roddy Rich has ballen on the Billboard right now. Roddy Rich is still doing his thing. He's been on and off the ladder, but I had to give him his props because he deserves it. He definitely does deserve it. He's having a great year. I want a project though. Like, I super want a project because I know he can put one out. A lot of people say they're going to drop projects this summer that didn't drop projects. I haven't seen one from Coil Ray. Haven't seen one from Trippy. I haven't seen one from Lil TJ. We saw him from Polo G, but he's unfortunately not on the ladder anymore. He hasn't been keeping up with the weekly. The weekly presence hasn't been there as much as all these other people. But Pop Out is still #10. It's still top 10. So the high record is one of the songs of the summer. If I had to say the songs of the summer this year thus far, or this 2019 summer thus far, it's probably Ransom and Pop Out. Because even if you don't know that Polo G made Pop Out, you've heard "We Pop Out at Your Party, I'm with the gang." Like, that's a one-liner in of itself. And Lil Tecca has been taking over the summer recently with Ransom. So that's probably my 2 songs of the summer, if I had to say that. And Suge as well. Suge, but that one was kind of, it definitely does its numbers. It definitely does its impact when people are outside. But yeah, that's what I would say the three songs of summer are right now: Ransom, as well as Suge, and the third one being Pop Out. So Act Up, Act Up is also, but Act Up's been out for a while though. You know what I'm saying? Like Act Up was already building up. It's not even really in its like challenge stage. Like it had its super hype, like when they were doing the challenges and whatnot. But I feel like Act Up's always gonna hit though. Like Ransom may not hit after the summer. Pop Out may not hit after the summer. I feel like as soon as you hear the dun 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 dun, dun like I feel like Act Up's always gonna hit though. Like who knows how long Ransom will hit for? Who knows how long Pop Out will hit for? Pop Out was hitting before summer, yes, but then it amplifies when you hear you pop out at your party. I went to gang, everybody wearing shorts. You know, Shorty's is got the skin out. You know what I'm saying? Everyone got they friends with them. And you know, you in a backyard function. Like Pop Out is made for a backyard function, so who knows how long that's gonna last. And Ransom is a dope song, and someone might copy the formula, and it may not be so dope. You know, so and I love Lil Tecca, but that's just an unbiased way of thinking about it. It's just what it is, what it is. But yeah, DJ Deem said, "Act Up." That song's been hitting. Even old people be getting down. It's hard to not get down to Act Up. You know, I considered putting them on the ladder simply because that Rihanna started bumping to it, and there's a video of it. Like, you know, Rihanna apparently is one of the most influential people in life right now. So, you know, her stat means a lot, and she was getting down. She was getting jiggy. But you know, I hope that Young Miami's also okay, because her whip got shot at as she was coming out of the studio at the Circle, but she's okay, which is good. But, you know, I can only assume that it has some type of correlation with what Kodak said. But at the end of the day, I don't know. This is all alleged. You know, I'm not the cops. I don't know. Don't have a report. Don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I hope she's okay. But there was another song I saw the other day where it was like, so-and-so featuring Young Miami. I'm only saying so-and-so because I remember who it was. But it said featuring Young Miami, which is hilarious to me because that was the first time it's been featuring, at least to me, that I've seen, it's been featuring Young Miami instead of featuring the City Girls. Like, everyone says featuring the City Girls when it's just Young Miami. Like, JT has not been out of jail since 2018. It's been a year at this point. It's Young Miami. Like, I feel like it's okay for them to separate the two. Like, they should be City Girls when they're together, JT and Young Miami when they're apart. And Young Miami at this point has been putting in enough work to where, like, if we see Young Miami, we know that she's from the City Girls. You know, it's weird. I understand you still want to keep the collectives to when she comes out of jail. You know, you still know the City Girls, but it's one girl. And it's been one girl for like a year. So, like, I'm just speaking the truth. You know, it's been one girl for a year at this point. But back to Mr. Roddy Rich. We need a project, sir. I've been on and off with you. I love Roddy Rich, but damn it, we need a project. Feed the Streets 2 is amazing, but I need another full-length project, please, and thank you, sir. All right, you know, I do the segment called Albums We Need, and there's some people that have some albums that I needed to hear drop, and if you don't drop after a while, I stop caring. You know, like in my original one, I think I had Schoolboy, I had Big Sean, and did I also have Young M.A? I think I had Young M.A in there too. But Schoolboy dropped his album, a little underwhelming. Didn't really go back to it, not gonna lie. Big Sean, I think, is gearing up to drop at least a little something. But even then, I haven't listened to the single again. I don't know why. Sometimes it takes me a while. Just because, like, when you're in music a lot, it makes you, at least to me, I won't speak in general. Being in a person in the music game right now, keeping up with all the music is tiring. You know what I'm saying? So then, like, sometimes I won't end up hearing something for weeks after it drops. I haven't listened to Chance's album yet. But also the type of music coverage that I do, I don't have to stay up to date. You know, it helps me at times, but I don't necessarily have to stay up to date. I stay up to date more with like up and comers than I do the super mainstreams. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally have only listened to like a couple songs on Chance's album. I don't get any of the memes. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes for me, I like not getting the memes. Sometimes I like to stay out of the loop and then come back in. You know, what's going on? Will it to sway? Briefly talking about Chance's album, everyone's been cutting on. I actually haven't even listened to it yet. because like I want to have a empty mind. I don't want to listen to it and have any type of preconceived notion of it. And for me, I don't run to albums. The only album that you're going to see me run to is Lil TJ if he drops that. And the funny part is, Lil Human was my favorite up and coming artist last year, and then he kind of took a dip this year. He's friends with Jid and Squid Nice and some other artists. And his first album, Humaniac, was just amazing. I loved it. And I've been waiting for another project to drop, and he finally dropped the project, and I've only heard like 2 songs. There's just so much music and so little time. I like to be in a nice certain kind of space when I'm listening to music. So, and I haven't been in that space. But Lil Human, I believe he signed Interscope, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like he's kind of been forgotten on the roster up until now. Like, people haven't been putting in enough work for him on the roster. The team is kind of like, yo, we have other people to worry about, which kind of sucks. You know what I'm saying? It definitely kind of sucks when like one artist is taken off, so they put all their time and effort into that artist, which makes sense. But then all the other artists that are dope too end up getting lost in the fray. I'm sure that isn't the best feeling in the world. I'm definitely sure it's not the best feeling in the world. But Roddy Rich at 6. All right, next up we have Mr. Eneli Choppa at number 5. Mr. Eneli Choppa at 5. Choppa been doing his work, bro. He's actually the number 1 emerging artist on Billboard now, and I think he deserves it. He's such a smart kid. Like, I believe he's still 16, maybe 17, and he's out here living his damn best life, bro. The man dropped the Shot of Flow 3. It's doing crazy numbers. Dropped like 3 weeks ago. It's doing stupid numbers. It's 15 plus mil. He's a person. He's a mini young boy, bro. He's gonna start putting up consistent YouTube numbers. Well, at this point, he's already putting up consistent YouTube numbers, consistent millions. Whenever he drops, it's gonna do numbers. Whenever he drops, man, turned down a $3 million deal, knowing he was gonna do much better, and he did. Like, he knew his trajectory. All these things was planned out. He knew his trajectory, and the trajectory has led him here to a top 20 hit on Billboard, number 1 emerging artist. He has a SoundCloud sponsorship, and he was in the promo video for their mobile profile editing. Like, he literally is in a partnership. He's not signed. He's signed, but he's in a partnership with Warner Records. Okay, and they allowed him to keep his No Love Entertainment, everything. He still owns the rights to his music, has a partnership with them, and he has his own label now with Warner Records. Like, that is, to be that young and to accomplish so much is ridiculous, and it really all happened in a year span. So he is the super definition of a rookie. So you gotta give it up to him for real. You really gotta give it up to him on what he's been able to do in such a small amount of time. Shot of Flow took off, and he's been doing with the remixes what I think Blueface tried to do, but it failed, because we didn't need to hear Tatiana multiple times. And with Tatiana, when we heard it multiple times, it was multiple different times, not by Blueface. Like, there was different remixes. Like, you had Party, and you had YG, and then you had everyone else that did their own rendition. Quinn and Offend did his own rendition, and so did Nicki and Young and May. But we didn't hear a different Tatiana from Blueface. I recall them saying they were going to drop a Tatiana too, but it never happened. But Shot of Flow, he changes the lyrics in every Shot of Flow. He adds new stuff. He makes it a different song. Like, Shot of Flow 3 is a different song than Shot of Flow 2. Shot of Flow 2 is a different song than Shot of Flow 1. Beats may be very similar, but they're different songs. Shot of Flow remix, different songs. Like, there's different lyrics as well. So I commend Choppa for real, 100%. If the other rappers weren't doing such a great job, he'd be higher. He'd be higher if he wasn't doing such a great job, but he's doing amazingly. So you definitely have to give him his credit. Definitely have to give him his credit. But at 4, we have Lil Tecca. All All right, Mr. Lil Tecca at numero quattro, and the man has a top 6 hit on Billboard. Ransom, I got 2 twin glots turned to a dancer, and he has a viral moment. He has a viral moment on the open mic Rap Genius show where he looks like all the members of Genius are holding AK-47s behind the camera, cocked and ready to blast him if he does not do this performance. But he's just he's a kid. He doesn't have the same presence that Choppa has. They're both kids, but they don't have the same presence. Choppa has way more presence than Tecca. I think Tecca's just learning to get that presence because he looks like he was a socially awkward kid to begin with. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he didn't take up too much space. He was kind of just there. But, you know, now he's being shoved into the limelight and he has to gain that presence. He looks like he didn't perform on a stage at any point. The way that he performed that song, that's not Genius, you know, antagonizing him or something. That's his lack of presence, his lack of performance, and his lack of experience performing. Like he did whenever he sings his song, he says, I got black. He doesn't even pronounce the black. I got black, I got white. Like, you know, these things come with time and, you know, experience and refining your skills. But, you know, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you'll refine these skills eventually. But right now, he's definitely very green to the whole performance thing. So, you know, we'll see. He's definitely very green to the performance aspect. And that was clearly evident in the open mic and in the Ian Banks performance, I guess you can say, of Ransom. So he also did get Slim Jesus in his feelings. So Mr. Slim Jesus out of Chirac. Okay, he made a video saying, you know, whenever somebody says I'm not hating on somebody, that means that they're hating on them. They just don't want to get the backlash of hating on them in the public eye. He's like, oh yeah, I'm not hating on him. You know, much love to him, more power to him, blah, blah, blah. But he literally said in his interview, I'm not about nothing I rap about. I don't got straps for nobody. I ain't cheating on my girl. I got a girlfriend. Don't hit my DM. Like, I've never been to Japan. I can't drive. Like, the list goes on. It's hilarious. But, you know, when you're talking to a 6-year-old kid, we're also in an age where you can just rap about stuff. Because a lot of people probably rely on their raps, but he's 16, 17, so it's very acceptable. If you look at the 16, 17-year-old, as he's saying, I don't do any of this, are you going to really be like, oh, yo, why you lying in your raps, bro? Why you rap capping? Go pick up a strap. Like, he's not a 30-year-old man. We're not about to, like, it's not a 50 Cent Rick Ross situation where Rick Ross is a cop. This is a 16-year-old kid that probably shouldn't be around these things that he's saying. So it's good that he's not around these things and he's just rap capping. At the end of the day, it's like we want this to be real until it gets real. So I'm not one of those people that are trying to enforce these things to be super real so that to the point when it does become real and, you know, jail time comes and things, Rico comes and, you know, 6ix9ine was not a gangster. He was just another lost kid, bro. You know, where it's a loaded Lux, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't no gangster, he was just another lost kid, bro. And you know, got to a point where he had to do gangster activities, putting money on people's heads, you know, being lookout or just being in the spot at the time, you know, being surrounded by blood gang members, and now he has to testify against 2 people that allegedly kidnapped him. You know, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna blame some kid for not actually doing what he raps about when it refers to guns and adultery. But Slim Jesus was quite upset about it because he said, this kid rap capped. When I said that I rap capped, everyone tried to cancel me. And they basically did because it's like, who wants to hear a Slim Jesus song right now? So he was pretty tight about that. He was like, you know, like, explain to me the difference. And honestly, I'm explaining the difference. Academics also made a video on it, but to me, the difference is pretty obvious. Like, you're imitating Chicago drill rap and then saying that I don't do any of this. Like, A, you're white. B, you're imitating Chicago drill rap. So now when you imitate Chicago drill rap with all the guns and you know, you're perpetuating the violence and Chicago area and adding, or is he? No. I think he actually might be from Ohio. But either way, it was the drill scene that he was perpetuating, and it's like drill is the closest thing to authenticity in hip hop, just ever, in my opinion. Like, just they were really rapping about what they lived. Like, smoked somebody and then went in the studio and rapped about it. You know what I'm saying? Smoked somebody, went in the studio and rapped about it for real. Also for real, you know what I'm saying? Like for real. So, you know, it's pretty obvious why people didn't like you, Mr. Slim Jesus. And we're also in an era too where it's like Lil Tecca is singing it and harmonizing it about Glocks. So either way, it's not sounding threatening. You don't look at him and feel threatened. He doesn't be in the videos holding the straps. The ransom video is literally, it's a happy-go-lucky video. He's in Puerto Rico drunk. Like him and his other dark-skinned friend are drunk in Puerto Rico. Like they're having a blast with some strippers, smokers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no guns in the video. Like in Slim Jesus' case, imitated the whole drill rap scene and said, I don't do any of these stuff they rap about, which is good, at least in my opinion. But it's the people that you're really imitating, they don't want to hear all that. They don't want to hear all that. Oh, I'm just playing. Because you really talking about their life. All he did was he raps lines as if he does certain things, but then look at him, bro. It's like you can choose to believe him or not. And it's like, do I believe is it completely believable? Sometimes you have to separate what is believable and what sounds good. And that's just what we're in nowadays, and that's what it is. If you don't want to accept that, then don't listen to hip hop. But there's sections to where it's like, this is what's going on Yazzie Doe. There's sections of hip hop where it's like, this is more in the authentic realm, and this is more just because it sounds good. And you have to be able to separate the two. Like, Lil Tecca's song just sounds good. Like, Ransom is a great song. Do I believe that he really has 2 Glocks that's going to turn me to a dancer? Like, no, I don't believe that. He actually is in Soho a lot. I'm from New York, and he's in Soho a lot. The man's a top 6 Billboard song. What's going on? The real queen of flow hard. I cannot read. But Lil Tecca is literally in Soho all the time. He has a top 10 Billboard hit. It's number 6 right now. And he just be chilling. You know what I'm saying? The man just, little kid dripped out with money. Like, he doesn't have any straps for anybody. He just be chilling. You know what I'm saying? The man just be chilling. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But Mr. Slim Jesus, it's understandable why you got the backlash and Lil Tecca's not. It's just funny. And now more people are in like a just joking about serious stuff type of, you know what I'm saying? We're now in an age of taking things less serious. So when we look at Lil Tecca and his braces and his dreads, we're just looking at it and we're laughing when he says he has never been to Japan, he can't drive, he has a girlfriend, he doesn't have any guns. It's just what it is. But Mr. Slim Jesus, you're getting on camera with a bunch of other black guys holding guns, imitating a drill sound that you did not live. So that's the actual reason. You know what I'm saying? Went on a little bit of a tangent there, but you know, I watched that video and I was like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? But Yazzie Doe says facts, right. You know, it is facts. I don't know if you saw the video of Mr. Slim Jesus out here saying that Lil Tecca is not getting the hate that Slim Jesus got when he first said he didn't do it. But you know, there's a clear, evident difference between the two artists. Okay, but Lil Tecca sits at number 4 on the ladder this week. All right, he's honestly been at number 4 for the last couple weeks. You know, he's been maintaining that spot. He needs a lot more presence though. Like, he gets on platforms to rap Ransom, and it just doesn't have any oomph to it. You know, it doesn't have any actual je ne sais quoi. You know, when he's performing, I don't feel him. You know what I'm saying? Even though I really don't believe that he has 2 Glocks that's going to turn me to a dancer or put me on a banner, I want to at least feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me feel something. You know what I'm saying? And like, the song itself is great. He has a couple other great songs, but I don't be feeling nothing when I'm actually listening to Lil Tecca perform live. You know what I'm saying? But Did It Again is still my favorite song. I like Did It Again more than I like Ransom, to keep it a buck. You know, Did It Again is a fire song. Yeah, she got a Genius verified on that one as well. But, you know, if he continues to do work, then he might stay at number 4. But YBN Corday has to get on the list next week. So somebody has to leave. And, you can find out next week who ends up leaving, but somebody's going to have to leave. Somebody's going to have to get this boot in order for YBN Corday to make the cut and make the list. But next up at number 3, we have DaBaby. All right, the sexiest chocolate, guy alive, according to Mr. DaBaby. That is a self-proclaimed title. He dropped Suge Uncut, the uncut version. Had a little skin in the beginning. Dropped 4 days ago. Has 1.7 million. I probably would expect a little more, but the original video has 121 million though. So I wasn't expecting that off rip. But 4 days, I feel like 4 days I should have expected at least 3 mil with DaBaby's presence. But we actually see where the big arms come from. They came from him doing a bunch of push-ups. Got up and he's all beefy knock. Pause. But he also was on the QC project with Lil Baby. And they have a song called Baby. And that did pretty well, reception pretty well on the song, I believe. I like the song. I think it was leaked on YouTube. I never know what's real on YouTube anymore. The leaks are probably real, but I just don't listen to it anymore. I don't support leaks. Like, whenever I see a song on YouTube that hasn't been on Spotify or Apple Music, I just immediately think it's not real, even though that the leaks are way more accessible now than it used to be. So it's very, very possible that it's real. But, I don't care. I'm not even, pressed about it, you know what I'm saying? I'm not pressed about whether or not it's real. I just be chilling. But I listen to it a couple on streaming, I'm really not. And even then it might take me a little bit. This is how I am, bro. I don't know. It took me a minute to listen to Sanguine Paradise by Uzi. And I was on streaming for a minute. But I listened to it several times now. It's a great song. But it takes me a while sometimes. I haven't heard any of these Playboy Cardi leaks or Uzi leaks. I don't support leaks. Artists take a long time to make songs. Artists, producers, and you just taking money out of their pocket just because you want to hear the song. But obviously, people don't care about stuff like that. People don't care about the actual artist or individual. They just want the creative project as fast as they can get it. And that's just, that's the community that we live in. And, you can complain about it, but it is what it is. I don't really complain about it. I just acknowledge what it is, and I do what I gotta do. But another fan also just recently got beat up at the DaBaby concert, so he's probably gonna start scaring a lot of these venues away. He's probably gonna start scaring a lot of these venues away that think that he is an aggressive individual. He's bringing an aggressive energy. I feel like the aggression and the aggressive energy comes to him. I don't think he necessarily brings it, but it's been multitude of times that violence has surrounded DaBaby, which is never really a super good thing, honestly. But DaBaby's still doing his work. He was at number 2 for quite some time after being at number 1 for quite some time, but he's now at number 3. And I gotta tell y'all, bro. It's a toughie now, bro. It's a toughie, bro. This race is getting way tighter than I thought, bro. Honestly, I thought the Lil Nas X would run away with it, but Meg Thee Stallion had a super substantial summer to the point where she came out. She's about to come out of the summer with a trademarked phrase that everyone used all summer: "Hot girl summer." She's trying to trademark it. She already started the trademark process in July. And she's trying to have herself a hot girl summer, copyright the life out of it, make hella merch, and it's going to be fire, bro. And she's going to own that. Ownership. Okay, and that's what everybody should realize is the most important thing in life is owning everything you have. Owning everything. I don't rent nothing, bro. I don't rent no equipment. I don't rent nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ownership is where it's at the end of the day. You have to own everything. I own all my equipment. I own my camera stuff because I don't want anybody to be able to say, "All right, I'm just going to take it back from you now." No, you're not. That's what she's trying to do with Hot Girl Summer. She's trying to say, "This is mine, and you can't take it from me." So I would have gave her second spot just off the strength of ownership and whoever's around her if it's not her herself realizing, yo, we gotta take advantage of this and jump on it. And she's also becoming basically the figure for thickness. You know what I'm saying? For being a thick girl, naturally thick, she is becoming the staple and the figure for that in a very plastic world. We are of the belief that she is a very natural and naturally thick individual. So she's become the figure for that. And I feel like, I want to say it's been a short amount of time, but it really hasn't. The Tina Snow dropped last year. The funny part is, bro, I really thought that was Megan Fox or the Black. I think Megan Fox is who I thought it was. And I was like, when I listened to a Megan Fox album, I don't know. It took me a while to listen to Tina Snow because I thought that was Megan Fox. And I really didn't care to listen to a Megan Fox album, to be honest. I'm going to keep it a buck. So it took me a while. And then I bet you found out that I was making the Stallion. And I was like, wow, that wig is crazy. It makes us like a whole different person. But she also has this YouTube series called Hottie World, which to me is kind of like their own little mini reality show. But at the end of the day, everybody should be putting out content. So she's smart, and not everybody's doing that. The baby does that because him and his team are also very smart. Lil Mosey does that sometimes. Does like tour vlogs. Everyone should be putting out content, bro. Every single last person on this planet should be putting out content. Because you can make money. Even if it's not what you're trying to do as your primary source of income, you can make passive income, or you can make just income from not even really doing much, bro. Especially if you don't even take it that seriously. Especially if you're just attractive or you make some music. Like, you can make a song that someone could really like, and they can use it in a video, and you can make royalties off that for the rest of your life, bro. Like, you don't understand that, bro. Called synchronization royalties. You make a song, and you have it, and it's being used in the form of video, like a music video, or I won't say music video, like TV show or movie. Your song's in there, you're making royalty checks. I'm sitting in your house. You know what I'm saying? Making royalty checks from sitting in your damn house. But that's also what I feel like Meg's trying to do with this copyright, trying to make some merch, and try when you run the store. She just put up a merch store online, cop. Hey man, that's the goal, bro. This man Chance said he made over $1 million on hats. On 3 hats. Like, that's crazy. Awesome damn hats. And I believe that Kodak said that he made a bunch off some socks. Like, you make a brand name, you pick an item, and you sell it. Like, that's just the easiest form of profit. Like, you gain an influence, and people will buy it just because of your name. Like, you gain a name and significance in your name, and people will buy anything that your name's attached to. It's just the formula in the 21st century of 2019 that we live in. But I touched on it a little bit earlier. We had Mr. Almighty J peeking at his thirst. Hopped in one of her lives, Megan Thee Stallion, and said, "Where are the hot girls at? I'm trying to see something." And that caused Miss Dream Doll to update the universe that she is single as a Pringle. Okay, so they were over here talking about they love each other and whatnot, and Mr. Almighty J was trying to step out on the town. Okay. Mr. Almighty J is served to be a problematic individual, but hey, it'd be like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why Corday is kind of outshining all of them right now. I thought Namir would be the one to outshine all of them, because like you don't expect Corday to be that. Like, I don't look at Corday and see Hip Hop Rookie of the Year, but he is that. I remember seeing the video though a while back. He did like this little rap in a community and stuff, and he had a nice message to it. I didn't realize he was going to be the message rapper, but he is, and he's bringing something different, a different flavor that YBN does not have already. So what's going on, the Leon? I'm terrible at pronouncing stuff, but Mr. YBN Almighty J was in Meg Thee Stallion's IG Live out here thirsting looking for some coochie. And he said, where are my hot girls at? I'm trying to see some. All right. And see some he did. He saw his now ex-girlfriend post on the gram, single again. Okay, so, but Meg Thee Stallion out here got people breaking up with their females. You know, she filing for trademarks. And she is about to team up with Nicki Minaj to put out Hot Girl Summer. Oh my gosh, it's about to be over, bro. And I'm not even a Nicki fan. I don't listen to Meg Thee Stallion like that, but they make similar types of music. They make very bad B music, and I'm not a bad B, so you know. But they make that type of music, and it works. And they're about to be teamed up on a record. I really wanted to hear Meg and Cardi, but it really makes more sense for the style of music that they put out for Meg to work with Nicki and City Girls to work with Cardi. And it's honestly mad funny. Like when they're on live, Cardi and Meg, not Cardi and Meg, Nicki and Meg kind of threw a shot, and she's like, "Oh, I'm about to go write something," in reference to maybe City Girls and Cardi B, or City Girls or Cardi B, whatever it is. A shot was thrown. Nicki writes, Meg writes, City Girls Fat Ghost Writers, and Cardi had Fat Ghost Writers. I think that can really turn to a tandem, that can battle each other. But Nicki does not co-sign females, and she got to co-sign the life out of Meg, and that's a big thing. So we have to give it up because Nicki does not co-sign females, bro. I was trying to tell people a while back that once Nicki co-signs a female, it's over. Like, that female's out of here, bro. Out of here. She's in a different realm. Once you get that Nicki bag, bro, that's 10 million off rip because Meg can already put up numbers. And bro, she shakes one butt cheek, it's over. That's 1 million views, bro. She gets down and she probably doesn't even have to shake. She don't gotta twerk no more, bro. All she has to do is get on her knees, bro. And that's 1 million views on Instagram or Twitter. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy what the female body can produce in terms of numbers and analytics. But it is what it is, and this collab is going to be crazy. And somehow Ty Dolla $ign, the hook killer, him and Black, to me, have the best hooks. And they have the best R&B features. That's my take. Black and Ty Dolla $ign have the best R&B features in the game right now. That's my take. But it's crazy though. It really is crazy that is about to shake up the summer. Hot Girl Summer. I'm surprised it didn't drop earlier because she would have had the clubs on lock up to this point, but she can have the rest of the summer on lock. Labor Day, that song is going to bust. Whatever it sounds like, it don't matter what it sounds like, bro. But I already can tell in my head the type of bop it's going to have. But whatever it is, it's going to shake up the streets. Okay, so everybody got to watch out for that. I'm certainly going to be watching out for that because it's about to shake up the streets. For real. Everybody needs to watch out for that. And yeah, that's Meg Thee Stallion, and we're going to transition into Mr. Lil Nas X at number 1. Mr. Lil Nas X. This is very important that I bring this up. Country tried to kick him out. Country tried to kick him out unsuccessfully, but Country tried to kick him out. They couldn't keep him out, bro. They couldn't keep him out. They could not keep him out. He is about to perform at the Country Music Awards. They tried to keep him out, but you can't keep him out when you have that Billy Ray Cyrus cosign. You can't keep him out. You can't keep him out. You can't keep him out, bro. And you got to perform at the Country Music Awards, and some people are probably going to be super, super, super salty. Man is gay, and he's entered the country world with a hip-hop sound. It's crazy. And he's not even a country artist. He just made a song. And he also credits the meme culture for his rise, and literally every song he makes can be memed. And it's like he doesn't have a certain bag that can help or hurt him. There is the case where it's like he doesn't have a legitimate fan base because he makes too many different types of music in one. But this is just his debut EP. Maybe an album will sound cohesive of something, but what will it sound cohesive of? My prediction is that when Lil Nas X drops an album, it will sound cohesive like Panini. I don't think it will sound cohesive like Old Town Road. I think Old Town Road just kind of happened. I don't think that's something that he would replicate or try to replicate again. I think that more of the songs will sound like Panini and Rodeo from here on out. It's kind of like, jazzy, happy vibes. You know what I'm saying? Happy rock vibes. Hip hop rock. Hip hop rock in his style, because I feel like he does already have a style. He may not have a certain type of song and beat choice, but I think he already has a certain type of style that he can bring to any type of beat. So Lil Nas X to me is still the rookie of the year right now. He's been number one probably the last couple of weeks, and he's been doing his work, man. You gotta give it to the man, bro. And if we get that Lil Nas X and Lil Uzi collab on Panini, the remix, that's gonna shake the culture too. That's super gonna shake the culture if we get that collaboration, Nas and Uzi. All right, so. And he also said that ever since he came out as gay, he's been living life to his fullest potential, and then he's been living life in his own terms. He put out an EP of 7 different types of songs. He's performing at the Country Music Awards, 18 weeks at number 1 with Old Town Road. Lil Wayne performed a remix of Old Town Road at Lollapalooza, so the cosigns are even getting crazier. It's crazy right now, man. He's living his best life, and you cannot deny that or say any different. You can't say any different, bro. He's living his absolute best life. All right. And, as a gay man, he's doing what he wants in his own skin. Young Thug can say, don't come out because people are treated differently. But at the end of the day, I'm sure people would rather be treated like how they are rather than somebody treating them differently from what they think that they're not. You know what I'm saying? That's how I give it up. I'd rather somebody straight up treat me how they want to treat me rather than feel like they have to treat me a different way. You know what I'm saying? That's how I like to give it up. But another news, Lil B also tweeted Lil Nas X thick. that was the whole tweet. Lil Nas X thick. So interesting, I would say the least. Very interesting to say the least, but it is what it is. But thank you guys for joining me this week on the Quality Time Network for this week's Hip Hop Rookie of the Year. It was great to be back. It was great to discuss the rookies with you guys. And, until time runs out, as we do, I'm going to give you guys a song per artist to bump until we get up out of here. So, Roddy Rich might be a very popular one, but there's probably still some people that don't know the song. Ballin'. All right, great song. Produced by DJ Mustard. All right, Annalie Choppa. Shot of Flow 3. All right, or Steak by My Side with Clever, fire song. Low Tecca, Bossa Nova. I'm starting to enjoy that song. The Baby, Best Friend, Rich Kid, and Ashley. Oh, Ashley with Stunner for Vegas, fire. Meg Thee Stallion, not a super fan. Don't really know a lot of songs off the top of my head, other than Cash-ish with The Baby. Definitely a great one. Has a male, female back and forth on that one. Lil Nas X, Rodeo, and he also has 2 Billboard records. Still has Panini on the charts, so we got to give it to this man, please. I know people will try to fight me on the Blueface, but you're not going to fight me on Lil Nas X. His results are unmatched and uncanny, and that's all there is to it. You know what I'm saying? But once again, thank you guys for joining me this week at Hip Hop Rookie of the Year. Okay, it was a great time talking to you guys. And hopefully next week these rookies can come with even more for me to talk about. And hopefully no more cars are shot at. Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.